Hey, what's going on? E. Jones, bottom to the top hoops.
Black Elvis, you already know we in the building.
Yo, top of the top, man. It's a new year, new bottom to the top episodes. We're excited to bring it to you. First of all, L, want to just say thank you for the outpouring of love of all of the people, man, that have subscribed, continue to watch and give feedback. We know that some of these topics can cause some conversation and friendly controversy, but we welcome it, man, because that's what the show is for. It's for us to have friendly debates and talk about, what you guys are feeling. So the show is for you, and we welcome it, Al.
Yeah, definitely.
So before we get started, also want to thank all of the sponsors and the people we've been collaborating with. We got some dope meetings coming up with some people that want to be a part of the show and really supporting the movements. But want to thank the day ones, man. Big shout out to T-Mobile. Who else we got, L?
Fine Food Cuisine.
Yes, sir. Best takeout in the Bronx. Big shout out to the world famous Harlem Wizards. Make sure you go check out that WizFit Challenge. You rocking, they got the state, they done sent you a package, L?
You already know.
Yo, listen, man.
The smoke. They said, hey, throw this hat on, okay?
Yo, listen, man. For those of you who are interested in collaborating or reaching out, man, shoot us a DM. We'll promote your stuff, man. We're fair. This platform is for everybody. So if we can help promote a business around the world, but especially these New York-based businesses that are, we have a lot of viewership and influence. We love to work with you, so definitely reach out to us and let us know. Big shout out to 109 Embroidery, my man Diallo over there. They got any needs for heat press, screen print, embroidery, they'll take good care of you, man. And definitely got to give a big shout out to my guys over in Jersey, taking care of us, man. So it's love, man. So L, we got a topic today that I know is going to stir up some conversation.
Definitely.
Top 5 tournaments in New York City history. Then, and I already know what they're going to say, L. Yo, how you going to just keep it that broad?
Because we can.
Nah, but realistically, L, I want to make it challenging. So we going from unlimited pro, high school, middle school, and AAU. Top 5 tournaments, L. You get the first crack. Tell me the history about it and what you know. One tournament that got to be in the top 5.
All right, what we doing first? You said unlimited?
What? No. We just taking 5. Period.
This is that smoke.
Yo, we just taking 5.
So I got to go straight up and down. I got to go with a tournament that unfortunately I didn't get an opportunity to play in because I went to Ohio and my parents, my aunt died. Even though I keeps it 100. I don't think I would have got no burn anyway.
Right.
But one of the biggest tournaments that I feel in the tri-state area that used to be popping. The 2 words, popping.
Yeah, popping.
Golden Hoops.
Say it again, Al.
Golden Hoops.
Yo, if you don't know, if you're too young, Golden Hoops was the best New York City-based high school AAU tournament, I'm going to say ever.
Yeah.
I would like, I know people got their feedback. Yo, what about Portchester? What about, B. Golden Hoops. Golden Hoops was a format. Big shout out to Bob McCullough, Each One Teach One, Uptown Chamber of Commerce, and the Daily News.
Yeah.
And those crispy blue and yellow unis.
And them blue and yellow unis.
With the short shorts.
Yeah.
Yo,
that's a fact.
Yo, I remember quick memories, man. Stephon Marbury pulling up from half. Riverside, Jerry Stackhouse to play in Golden Hoop. I remember Kareem Reed dominating in the last 8 minutes of the game. I remember the team with Felipe, Steph, Charlton Clark, Sham, crazy. So Golden Hoops, man, so many.
Bonafide in the top 5, right?
Bonafide.
What about citywide?
Tough. Let's keep it in consideration.
All right.
Keep it in consideration. Bonafide top 5. So I want to make a distinction for the people. EBC and Rucker Pro-Am are 2 different tournaments. EBC, which is the Entertainers Basketball Classic, founded by Gusto and Greg Marius, right?
R.I.P. Greg.
Big shout out to Al Cash and Duke Tango. They started on 139th Street and Lexington Avenue in the park over there. They moved to Rucker Park. Their tournament would be Monday through Thursday, and then the Rucker was phasing out at that time, would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we have to make a distinction. EBC is separate than Rucker Pro. I'm saying Rucker Pro is one of the top 5 tournaments ever.
Ever.
Dr.
Period. Across the nation.
Really? Rucker Pro. So that's number 2. That's number 2. Golden Hoops, Rucker Pro-Am. Like I said, we talking from the 80s down, any superstar from New York area played in it. Many exploits about Joe Hammond, Pee Wee Kirkland, Fly Williams, all of those people made their name at the Rucker Pro-Am. So that's top 5. You get the next one, Al.
What about LaGuardia House?
You want to put LaGuardia in there?
I mean, if you was nice, you came through LaGuardia House.
All right. Let's say this, man. We got the guaranteeds, and then we got the stuff we're going to get back to.
Okay. All right. Holcomb Rucker. How about Holcomb Rucker? 145th and Lenox.
I'm on the fence.
Oh, wow. I got one for the old school, man. Big shout out to my cousin Elliot, man. Boys of yesteryears.
That's a good one. That don't make the cut, but that's a good one. That don't make the cut, but that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yo, by the way, big shout out to Sam Jones. My cousin said, I can't believe the world that's small. Yo, Mr. Sam Jones, that's E-Pops.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. He was like, man, I remember him when I went to his crib and all that with Tip back in the day. I said, that's a small world, bro.
Small world, bro. Small world. I'm going to say a guarantee, L. Dykeman.
Absolutely.
Dykeman got to be top 5.
Break it down a little bit for him.
Yo, I'm going to say this, man. L, this is important. Big shout out to Kenny Stevens, right? Big shout out to Kenny Stevens. But before that, big shout out to Sean Couch and Mr. Couch, who were the people who really were the OGs of Dykeman. And big shout out to Ralph Pena, who was Kenny's first partner with Dykeman. Listen, I'm saying it here on my show. Anywhere you want to go in New York City, my treat, Kenny and Ralph, let's have dinner. Those guys know what I'm talking about. Kenny and Ralph, let's have dinner. I'm treating. Wherever y'all want to go in the city, it's on me. Kenny and Ralph. I think that's important for New York City. Kenny and Ralph, I'm treating, it's on me. That needs to happen for the city. But I'm the kumbaya guy, so I'm doing some subliminals, you know what I mean? But those guys know what I'm talking about. For the people in New York City, you know what it is. Yo, they used to be on the mic themselves, man, getting it popping. Before the Dykeman that people know, they was in the trenches getting it in, man. And they are the best in New York City now, but it wasn't always that way. And they built that thing, man, and they got staying power and longevity. So that's 3.
Round ball.
So we're gonna choose from though. We gonna
Okay, okay. Let's see.
I got one.
Yeah,
West 4th Street.
absolutely.
We have five, we have four. We have
It's gonna be a whole bunch of honorable mentions, that mean.
Yo, bro, we have four right now. And look, I know what they're gonna say. Yo, y'all always do in the Bronx and the one thing about it was most tournaments that got love was in Manhattan because the Brooklyn people would come over, the Queens people would come over, the Bronx people would go uptown. So when it was like Bronx tournaments like the UDCs, right? The cadet corps and all of that stuff, that was Bronx PAL, that was Bronx-based tournaments. I think I got the last one too, L.
Uh-oh. Drum roll, please.
I think we have to put EBC as the fifth. Because Rutgers won that by itself. I think EBC, because of what they did, they was bringing pros to the park.
I seen Kobe Iverson. I'm talking about I would have never got a chance, Durant. I would have never got a chance to see these players unless they was excited to come get that smoke here.
You know what? Rest in peace to Greg Marius. And let me just say this. They're probably one of the first ones to bring the wood floor outside. Right? The instant replay digital boards. The bleachers all around. They really made an arena outside. The lights late at night. The security detail, the cops. The line with you know what I mean? You getting frisked before the park. Like, they were before their time, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like we as the community, this is what we do. We wash people up quick. You get a down year, down summer, 55th is washed. And I'm guilty too. Instead of saying, I'm gonna do something to support, to bring that entity back up. And, granted, man, I just wanna see people win, but, I like to see those tournaments have staying power. So that's the top five I got, L.
Run them down, E, run them down.
EBC. Rucker Pro-Am. Golden Hoops.
Dykeman.
What else we had?
Dykeman.
And then there was one more that eludes me right now. But those are the top five.
You said West 4th?
And West 4th was the fifth. West 4th was the fifth. We forgot a couple too that IS-8.
IS-8 was popping.
IS-8, man. LeBron played at IS-8.
Yeah. CYO. What about the CYO?
The CYO is a great. You know what, L? Woo, I forgot one. Well, I ain't forget one. L. Doc Turner.
Forgot about Doc Turner.
Doc Turner. Do it sneak in there? Do we gotta go?
It has to. Doc Turner was made. See, first things first, I just gotta be real. I was a ball player, but I mean, Golden Hoops, Doc Turner, those were the joints I didn't play in.
But guess what, L? That was as much for us, for culture, as it was for the players. I'm gonna say this. I know for a fact, for the guys who were on the bench in Doc Turner, I had more fun than you. Because you had to focus on the game. I got to watch the game and everything else.
No, that's a whole fact.
I had more fun than the bench warmers at Doc Turner. I saw Lloyd Daniels at Golden Hoops. Doc Turner. I saw Boo Harvey. I saw Rod Strickland. I saw Chris Brooks. I saw Manhattan Center when they had Carlton Hines. Big shout out to my man John Arnold, man. Manhattan Center, those teams back then, Stan Dinner. It was a problem back then, man. So many people played in Golden Hoops. But look, so now we talk about LaGuardia House, Holcomb Rucker,
What about PAL? Remember PAL was popping.
Webster PAL was popping.
Housing.
Ooh, yo, that was when you got a chance to play with your hood teams in housing, and you got to cook, and it wasn't no Gaucho team or Riverside team. You had to pass it. It was like, yo, I'm playing with my guys from Claremont, and I'm about to get 30 in housing, yo.
I remember I got 50 in housing one year with the purple and white reversible uniform. Guess who I played with?
Who's that?
Kevin Watson.
Yo, big shout out to Kev Watson, man. Big shout out to Kev.
Remember that.
Yo, big shout out to the league, Al.
Oh, shout out to my man, Yancey.
Yo, the league had it popping. Yo, you remember the tournament, man, and I can't remember of it. It was at Bronx Regional. Man, I can't think of it, man. And she's gonna kill me. It was a girl who ran it. Her name is Marquita. But the name will come to me. Somebody put it in the comments, man. But it was. Oh, what about Forest Projects? My man, Lord Finesse.
Forest.
Urban Extraordinaires.
I got one for you. What about Watson, Lee Green?
Yo, Lee Green gets it popping at Watson. Yo.
And what's the lady he's always with? She be holding it
down. Norma from Bronx.
Shout out to her, man, because she be on it, man.
Yo, big shout out to UDC. Big shout out to Joe Cruz and Randy Cruz at Hoops in the Sun.
Hoops in the Sun. We took that thing twice when I was coaching.
Let him know, Al. You took it.
Gotta let him know that. Dream Nation, we took that thing twice. And we beat Mount Vernon High School.
Yo, Al, remember the New Rochelle tournament?
Oh, that was popping for the Catholic School League?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, I remember that.
Yo, it was so many dope tournaments at NYC. And people don't realize this, man, from the big dogs tournaments to, for my old school people, King Towers.
Oh, King Dome too. Jeez.
Which later became King Dome. It's two separate parks. Just I know my history, right? There was the court inside the projects, and then there was one closer to the avenue on Lenox. So I know my history. King Towers and King Dome, but Gumby was doing it. He transitioned over. You know what I mean? So, man, those King Towers tournaments was crazy.
Yeah, you know who I want to give a shout out to? Will Buns, man. He be doing his thing. I like, man. I be seeing him doing his thing.
Hoops by the River, man. My man Willie Kelly does his thing. Hoops by the River, great tournament over there. Yo, many great tournaments over at Millbank, in-house and regular tournaments. They used to do the Rucker over there. Yo.
Now let me ask you this, E, because like when we talk about tournaments, like I said, shout out to Craig Yancey with the league. Yeah. And I want to ask you, because you do tournaments for the people and the cats that have structure, have the park, have everything in place. I want to ask you, how do they go about getting sponsorship? How do they go about, because when you look at tournaments, one thing I've realized working with you, before we have the tournament set up, you already have 2-3 sponsors in pocket.
Well,
so maybe you can give some advice to some of these cats with these dope up and coming tournaments.
So the first thing you have to do is you have to figure out what angle you want to go at, right? So there are a lot of agencies who work based on numbers, and those agencies, they get paid per kid. And oftentimes the agencies need participation, and they have a sports arm to it. So if they can get the kids participating, you can be what's called a co-locator and potentially get sponsorship through those existing programs. Everybody's after the big fish, which is Nike and Adidas and all of that. The reality of it is they want impressions. They want influence. They want you to have something that's going to benefit them. Influential kids who have a name, who can, drive attention to their brand. So what I say to you is go after some of these mom and pops and the businesses that the people in the community patronize. You got a bodega, you got a grocery store, you got some place that sells sneakers, clothes. We go to these stores, right? So sit down with those people and figure out how you can put their banner up, give out some coupons, some things where both of you can win and you're just not going with your hand out asking for money, because the power you have as a tournament organizer is that you have impressions. Businesses need eyeballs to stay open. If you can get them impressions and say, we'll have 1,000 people at this park, there's a value on that. You need to be organized, you need to have security, you need to make sure that your stuff is in place. So when the businesses attach themselves to you, there's mutual benefit for you and for them, and everybody's happy, and you can form long-standing partnerships. That's in short order, that's one way to attack it.
That's awesome, man. Great breakdown, man. So for all you cats with these tournaments, you know, hey, he gave you some good advice. You got to be organized, and it's really based on numbers. That's why when we look at Dykeman, of course they're going to have Nike. There's kids on the gate. There's people. There's a constant flow of people. When you have that, it makes it easier for one of these brands to cut a check.
And guess what? They didn't start off with that. So you got to build your entity, right, and work with the people who want to work with you, right? It's no problem getting those local guys. And, you know, with our show, we didn't start off with sponsorship. We started off with me and you and a vision to work hard and be consistent. And eventually
put out good content. That was it.
People saw what we did, and we stayed diligent and true to the process. And fortunately, you know, we're in a position to be in conversations to grow the show in an organic way and, you know, stay true to ourselves. So we're fortunate and blessed, but we will never forget that there's loyal people who watch the podcast, and we'll stay true to you regardless of how we do what we do and how large we get, because that essence of what we do is the heart and soul of Bottom to the Top Hoops.
Absolutely. From the bottom.
Yes, sir. So Al, I think we gave him some info.
Absolutely.
My guess is they're going to want us to further break the tournament structure down and put them in categories, which we have no problem with. But give us the feedback. Let us know if our top 5 is on point, or you feel like something should be rearranged or added in or taken away. But thank you to all of the people who organize these tournaments. Thank you to my partners, Jerry McCullough, Daryl Jones, my brother, who helped me, Jamel Thompson, who's been—
Hold up, I got to bring it up. So we had the conversation. Shout out to D. Jones, because he definitely felt he should have been in that coach's conversation, and I ain't mad at him.
Yo, my brother gave me all of that smoke, like, yo, bro, no disrespect. Yo, you know I love my brother to death, but, you know, I stand with my honor about, you know, how I go about and how we go about choosing our stuff. And we had a healthy conversation, and my brother is one of the top 5 basketball minds in New York City right now, and I'll put that up against anybody, right? It's just the schools that he coached at may have not have been mainstream schools. He's had a tremendous impact. He knows I love him to death. I steal all of his ideas, and he's my hero.
You know what? Speaking of that, man, let's give some kudos to some people who really, really support us. First things first, I want you to just give me a brief breakdown of EJ5 training right quick.
Well, it started out of, you know, a necessity is the mother of invention. And I would always kind of send people to other trainers. But when the pandemic hit, I was at the crib, and there was a lot of kids who needed to work out. And as I always do, I just try to be a service-oriented person. And I wanted to do something to be able to give kids basketball tutelage in the right way. And it just kind of organically grew from a couple of clients that I was getting consistently. Thank you to those people. My man Brent over at Fordham, Mark Rodriguez, a young lady, Imani, and her mom, Johanna. They just were coming to me. Oh, big shout out to Don Cribb and Amari. You know, just they would come, Damon Santiago. They would bring their children to me, and they would come 2-3 times a week. And I just grew the business. And now on any given weekend, I could have 30 kids in the gym, man. And, you know, we got some stuff popping that could change the landscape of New York City basketball. So thank you.
Absolutely.
For helping me start EJ5 training, because, you know, you've helped me grow into another level of what could potentially be fantastic opportunities to help the city's game.
Yeah, we did it for each other. I want to shout out Craig Joseph.
Yes.
Big shout out to Craig Joseph. We appreciate everything you're doing. Pop Jennings.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Big shout out to the Far Rockaway area. Look like we're gonna be doing some big things with Pop out there in that Far Rockaway area. Big shout out to Kai.
Yes.
Us all the time with our decks, making sure we organize.
Kai Butcher.
You know, absolutely. Big shout out to Kyle. Kyle, he's definitely helping us out. He's definitely soliciting for us. You know what I mean? Hey, we working, man.
Yo, so if you guys are wondering why, you know, we taking the time, you know, they say give people their flowers. And when people are consistently calling us about the show, helping us out, they don't get a chance to be in front of this, you know, camera. They don't get a chance to be, you know, get the kudos or the attention. So it's our job to bring those people to the fore so you guys can know it's not just Black Elvis and E. Jones, you know, spitting this information off. It's people who prep us, support us, are loyal to us, and it's important for us to mention those people so you guys know who they are, so you know it's always a team, it's always a village that helps make this happen, and they are important to us, and we want to just be able to publicly acknowledge that.
Absolutely, absolutely, man.
Yo, this was a good one, man. I feel good. Make sure y'all check it out. YouTube, Spotify, Apple TV, bcomtv.com. Big shout out to D Jones and Jerry Ice, man. Much love. You got the last one.
Man. Hey, like I said, man, one more time, man, for the people, man. Big shout out to, like I said, Craig Joseph, Kyle, Pop Jennings, Mikey, just all of the people that's constantly promoting what we're doing. Kevin Watson, El Finesse. You know, these are people every week got information. Yo, you forgot this. Yo, what about this?
Lawrence either. Can't forget about Lawrence.
That's Pop Jennings.
Did you see that?
Yeah, we on it.
I know your AKA, Pop, you know what I mean? But I wanted to make sure I gave you love.
Nah, it is what it is, man. We thank all of y'all, though, man. Thank you for all the support. We're going to continue to constantly bring you solid content. And as we grow, we're going to grow what we're doing, and we'll be able to eventually give back to our community.
And Al, just so you didn't know, man, just in case you didn't know, we're coming up on our 100th show.
Wow.
So we got to do something special, bro.
Absolutely.
Yo, thank you, man. Give your last shout out to the person who's most responsible for us, Al.
Big shout out to the man who created it, started us all, woke us up this morning. Our Heavenly Father, man.